Early one morning, he moved over in secret to the Augusta, and as he boarded the Augusta in secret, the Potomac went back and went to the Cape Cod Canal, which was a narrow body of water there where the ship could be easily seen. And so one of the Secret Service people had dressed up as FDR with his cigarette at a 45-degree angle, waving at the people, and he had the cape, all of that, while FDR was on the Augusta for the meetings. They had the meetings up in Placentia Bay. The Prince of Wales came around. The coast goes up this way, and the Scottish coast, so that the narrow of the Atlantic was at one of its narrowest points. So Churchill would not be exposed for too long a period to the U-boats. And many people thought that was just foolish for him to take that risk. But he did, and they came over and they had their meeting. And sometimes they refer to it as their first meeting. But actually, FDR had met with Churchill when he was Under Secretary of the Navy in London, and Churchill didn't remember it. FDR remembered it vividly, but Churchill didn't remember it, which just irked the hell out of FDR for years, that he wasn't even remembered at that point by Churchill, and now he'd become Churchill's most important and savior for Great Britain. But they had what was called the Atlantic Charter, and they went back and forth for several days between the ships, between the Prince of Wales and the Augusta. And they finally came up with a document that had 8 points, and they'd gone back and forth with handwritten notes on drafts, and draft 1, draft 2, and they went back and forth. And these 8 points were to define the New World Order. What should this? We're not yet. The U.S. is not in the war yet. Great Britain is, but we're defining at that point what they saw as the New World Order. Churchill was pushing for more to try to restore the British Empire, which Roosevelt was pushing back for. He didn't want that. So this became known as the Atlantic Charter.